This is our second video when we look at how to use Innate's resource planning spreadsheet, the assignment table view. This is how we finished in the previous video. We just put together a plan for our new project, New 3. What we now want to do is to have a look at the effect of layering this on top of the other work that we have. And there's an easy way that we can do this from this view. Currently we're just looking at a view which says I'm only focusing on one project. We can change that by going to our select button here and say I want to look at all resources across all projects. Look at the details of that. And you'll see we've got a number of tabs along the top here. We can save off different assignment table views, and I'm going to go to assignment table 3, and what that shows, if I summarize the bars, here's a view which shows us the work organized by program and then by project. Our projects are within 3 programs: business as usual, client projects, and marketing. If I open up the business as usual work, we can see the list of projects that are within that program, and there's our new 3 project that we've just added in. You'll see the legend at the top here. We've decided just to color code the bars or the projects according to the program that they're in. And if we scroll down, we've configured this so that we've got some subtotals here. So we're just adding up across all of these projects the work that falls into each month, and we're showing in red for any team or role whenever that falls into overload. So what we can see here is that our new 3 project has been put in here, and it may or may not be contributing to an unacceptable overload here in the analysts. But if this is a low priority project, maybe an internal one that we want to fit around available resources, then if we pick that project up and just drag it to the right, we can see that as we move it to the right, the numbers change in the table. And at this position, what was an overload in analysts has disappeared and gone into black. Let's just move that back and see. We'd started off at the beginning of March. So we move that over to the right. We see the numbers reduce until it goes to a position there. And that has means that we have positioned this now so that we've avoided any bottlenecks on the analysts. We're still left with bottlenecks on the programmers and on the testers. It's up to you to decide how crucial those are. If we wanted to look at taking this down and moving individual tasks around within the project, if we click on the new 3 there, then that brings us down to how we've broken down and put our plan together. If we want to remind ourselves of what the actual numbers were, we can change from a Gantt table to a tabular view and see that. Okay. You'll see the color codes change there. As soon as I go to a tabular view, I've put in there color-coded things by role, and that just enables us to see what we've got. Okay. But for our purposes here, where we're trying to position this new project around the available resources, we can see that the Gantt view is quite useful here. Now I want to just show you how we've set this view up. The first thing is, how have we set up that program project structure so that we can break things down, drill down, and then close them back up to a summary view. I'll just open the BAU up again, as it were. And that's done here using the More button down here. And if you go to the Sort button here, then it's exactly the same as in Excel. We've said we want to sort these rows first of all by program, then by project, and that's enabled us to define the structure, the breakdown structure that enables us to progressively open up more detailed rows and progressively collapse them again. The other thing that we've done here is we've put in some subtotals by role, and where we've enabled that is we can see here there's a subtotal by, and there's a number of fields that we can choose. We could do it by resource, we could do it by location, we could do it by any other category that you want. We've just got that subtotal by role. So it's ways like this, it's using this More button, we can have a lot of control over the display. I'll just run through some of the other facilities here. Use the resource calendars. Yes, that's useful to have. Where you can decide the number of rows you want to display and the number of columns you want to display. When you're showing in a table view the work, to what number of decimal places do you want it to show. If you're ordering things by priority here, so you've got high priority work at the top running down to the lower priority at the bottom, it's useful to have overloads in red on the grid. This will show you how far down you can go through the work before things go into red, before you hit bottlenecks. And there's various others down here. So that's what I wanted to show you in terms of doing the resource skills capacity. We can see here how we can do that. Now, one other thing just to mention, we've done this on the live data. That's fine where we've got a new project that we want to position around the existing workload. But if this new project had been high priority and we wanted to start moving work around some of the committed projects around, then we'd have done that using scenarios, and that's the subject of another video. The next one in the series here will change our role from project manager to resource manager, and we'll see how these requests for resource that are going to hit the various resource managers can be dealt with a slightly differently structured assignments table.